What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Overland Ops. My name is Jeff. This episode is going to be a little different than the other ones I've put out, so stick around. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. So I know it's been a while since I put out an episode, and there's a reason for that. I've been back at work, and so I guess I'm going to give a little bit of a personal update of what's been going on in my life. This whole Overland Ops thing kind of started when COVID-19 hit and everybody got sent home from work. And some of y'all know, some of y'all don't. I worked for many years in the entertainment business. The pandemic and the lockdown directly affected me. Obviously, if you can't have large crowds or gatherings, there's not really any live entertainment happening. I wasn't able to work, and I was like, instead of sitting around, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go camping. And I was like, well, I guess I don't have to work for 3 months. I'm gonna go to Montana. And that 3 months then turned into 18 months. Got a call to come back to work. Hey, they're lifting, the lockdown measures, and it was pretty limited hours. It's not enough to kind of sustain myself. Started looking for other employment. I applied for the U.S. Forest Service, a couple other places. What it came down to is a lot of people want you to have your bachelor's degree, which I never finished my degree. So it kind of got me to thinking, I need to go back and finish school. That'll give me a little bit more opportunity to maybe go and do what I want. Having that piece of paper that says, you've passed college, it's going to open a lot of doors. Decided I'm going back to school, so that's probably the biggest move so far. And I'm also leaving the entertainment business. I don't know if I can actually leave it. I think once you do it, it's in your blood. So I don't know if I'm leaving, but I'm definitely kind of stepping aside to work on my education. I'm definitely going to miss not doing live theater and concerts. It wasn't really a job for me. It was, I wouldn't even say a career. It was just fun to do. I really enjoyed doing that work, so I'm going to miss it a lot. I worked at Miller Outdoor Theater in Houston, Texas, and I think I'll always look back and think that was probably the most fun at any job I've ever had. Probably always look back fondly at those days. I'm going to miss it quite a bit. So moving forward, I'm going to be going back to school. While I'm doing that, I'm going to be working in real estate, and I've already passed all my classes for the state of Texas to get my trainee's license. I now have to complete 1,500 hours to be certified. A lot of math, so it's been kind of hard to get back into the school mode, but I was able to pass all 4 of my classes, and I passed the math class. In the past, I think it's something I've struggled with somewhat, but I did all right, so I'm pretty happy about it. So I said this episode is going to be a little different this time around. In the past, the way I would put out these videos was I would film like a week's worth of footage and have to edit all of it together. And I'm gonna try this week to just shoot in 3 days. Today is Friday. It's gonna be the first day of shooting, and I'm just gonna kind of get the entire trip in one shot. So I'm just gonna shoot in 3 days and edit all that together. And I've gotten a lot of suggestions from friends that my videos are typically kind of truncated. It's not really a cohesive story. So I'm gonna try my best to go from start to finish, packing the Jeep, going grocery shopping, every sort of detail. I'm gonna try and be as exhaustive as I can on detail of, how I go about getting ready for a camping trip. And I had kind of switched everything back on the Jeep to be daily driver, city mode, so I could park in parking garages. I had to take the tent off the top. Dug everything out of storage. I had put the tent under a lean-to for several months, and I wrapped it in a tarp. I was kind of nervous when I pulled it out, like, man, is something crawled up in here and living in here? But it ended up being okay. Took the tarp off. There was nothing in there but a bunch of frogs that had been like dwelling in between the tent and the tarp. So you know, many brave battle toads did challenge me that day, but they all survived. I hope I didn't step on any of them. There was also a stink bug in there, which, you know, I had to get rid of. But took that out. The Velcro on my straps on the tent had completely worn down, like it was useless. So I ended up switching that out. I think this is my turn here. What was I saying? Oh, so I ended up switching out the straps for quick links. The Jeep itself, I got a lift kit installed on it, so it now has 3 inches of lift. I got a TerraFlex lift kit. It's a 2.5 inch lift, but because it's a 2-door, something about the way that the wheels are spaced out, it actually gives it 3 inches of lift. So I feel like I got half an inch for free. Thanks, TerraFlex. I took out the piece of wood that I've been working on very slowly. It had kind of gotten a little water damage, so I sanded it, re-stained it, and it was so humid that the stain came off unevenly. But when I wiped it down, I was actually like, it's kind of a cool pattern, looks like a little tiger stripe. I installed that and actually screwed it down so it is completely secure. Other than that, I really haven't gotten any more gear of any kind. Haven't done any camping. I've just been working, trying to make it, and that's pretty much what's been going on with me lately. So everybody remain calm. 1, 2, and a go. Everybody okay? Yeah? Not too heavy, right? No, it's okay. Going slow.
Well, not if there's 4 of us. When there's 2 of us, it's pretty heavy. What am
I just don't want it to slide forward.
Which way am I?
You know, when things get precarious, I like to turn off the camera. I think of obstacles as opportunities. What's going on, guys? I want to do a quick video update about everything that's going on this evening. I didn't get a lot of filming done tonight. I'm in Indian Mounds, which is a national forest campground. There's a lot of RVs here. There's 2 of them right next to me that are actually running their generators. 10 p.m. You're supposed to cut that off. And the time right now is it's 12:47. It's actually 12:47. I mean, this is ridiculous.
You see what happened, Larry?
The other really big bummer is I bought wet firewood. Yeah, so I haven't been able to get a campfire started. So it's like a double bummer. So I'm gonna call a mulligan on this night. And probably have a couple beers and just blare Sturgill Simpson next to these people's RV. God bless Texas. That's all for now. I'll see you guys in the morning. Which Overland Ops. Good morning. It's now day 2 of the adventure. And I woke up at 10 in the morning. I was up until 3 last night. Dude just didn't ever turn off his generator. It's still running. I got a lot to do today, so I'm gonna get a move on. I'm gonna get a quick little dehydrated breakfast meal. Blech. And then I got some hiking to do. Go look at the lake, which is right over there. I think I'm gonna go to the sawmill and then head to a new off-grid camp spot. We'll check in later. Generators all night. Last time I was here a couple years ago, this place was completely covered in dead trees. It looks like they've done a prescribed burn. Maybe they're gonna open it back up, because if they do, this is the place to camp. This has like 360 views of the lake. It juts out onto this little peninsula. So you can tell, you know, this actually was a camping loop, and it had campsites over here, and the road was paved with asphalt. If they were to open this back up, this would be a pretty spectacular camping area. So hopefully they get some more funding and they open this back up so people can enjoy it. Beautiful day to be on a boat. Spend enough time here in this noisy campground. It's beautiful, but there's a lot of people here. So I'm gonna maneuver my way out, head to my next stop. Kind of wish this was a camping spot. This is pretty cool. I know there's some traffic noise, but this is a beautiful day. I had to stop and take a look at this view. Lake Sam Rayburn. Sam Rayburn Lake? I think you can say it either way. Walking back here in the woods. You know, the history of this area is pretty cool. Up ahead there is this spot called the Aldridge Sawmill. It was actually a town called Aldridge back here. Pretty much like the sawmill owned the town, so if you like worked there, you got a house and your family could live there. It's a ghost town. There's nothing left but the ruins of this giant sawmill. Looks pretty creepy from back here. Kind of this giant concrete rising out of the forest. They found it more lucrative to cut trees elsewhere. This is kind of a hard area to get to, so. And I'm not a lumberjack, but they would cut the trees here, float them down the river. Well, that's not good. Well, as you can see, I'm in a hotel, and that's because the battery on the Jeep is fried. So I'm using this. It's an emergency battery bank, and it has jumper cables that come with it, so I'm really glad I had this. It's always a good idea to carry one of these with you. If I didn't have this, I'd be in a lot of trouble right now. Kind of a humbling experience. I'm glad I made it here. Plans tonight are take a shower, since that's available. I'm gonna go to sleep, wake up early, buy a new battery, and then I have a few stops I'm thinking about doing on the way home. So I'll check in with you guys in the morning. Like one of those trips where everything's kind of not going correctly, but I'm still having like a really good time, if that makes sense. So first stop on the way back is this place called the Kylo Massacre site. It's pretty creepy sounding, and apparently it is one of the most haunted places in Texas. It's the site of this family of settlers had a land dispute with the native tribe that lived in that area, and I don't know the specific details. It'll probably tell me on some sort of plaque when I get there, but that's the first stop. It's kind of creepy here. I don't know why necessarily. Yeah, there's like a weird energy here, I guess you could say. It's just kind of like creepy getting back into here. I don't know if I'm actually supposed to be back in here, but I'm doing it. This thing's huge. Oh, I just realized those are graves over there. Oh, these are all, oh. Yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to be out here. This is like a mass grave site. Well, anyway, I'm gonna go. Yeah, apparently this is like one of the most haunted places in Texas, so I've seen it. Alright, on to the next place. It's not as haunted. Did not realize that was actually a burial site. Don't mean to be disrespectful by filming there. I just thought it was a monument. My next stop is going to be the Caddo Mounds historic site. They got hit with a tornado, like a direct hit. Time to kick up some of that Texas red dirt. Farmer John checking on his bull. The thing about yesterday making it so hard was I only had like 3 hours of sleep because of that generator. If that guy wants to run his generator all night, he's just gonna make all of his neighbors mad until maybe one day somebody will say something to him. Write him a nasty letter. I actually thought, you know, I got a little crazy about 3 a.m. I was like, man, Googling on my phone, like, can I turn off this guy's generator? Turns out that's illegal. Kind of ironic though that I was like this close to just doing it anyway, and then my battery didn't work the next day. Isn't that weird? I think it's kind of weird. Anyway, I didn't turn off his generator. I don't know, that's not really karma, but maybe because I was thinking it. That's the universe saying like, hey, roll with the punches. I think I might have taken a wrong turn. It's a beautiful day. Weather is spectacular. 3 days of filming, really not a lot of time to shoot an entire episode, I've decided. But I'm still gonna release this episode. Just made it home. I'm worn out. I do not feel like I had much of a weekend. There was only one night of camping. You know, what are you gonna do? Life gets in the way sometime. I wasn't expecting the battery situation to happen, but I don't regret going out there. I still had a lot of fun exploring, seeing some things I'd never seen before. So in the future, I think my episodes are definitely going to be more based on just the camping side of it. And I know I didn't really get to that in this episode. I said it was going to be a little different. This was kind of an experiment to see if I could get an episode done in 3 days. Obviously, I'm going to need a little extra time. I do plan on putting out more content this year. I'm planning on some pretty big trips, so stay tuned. Hope you guys didn't hate this episode. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around, see when my next videos come out, hit the subscribe button down there somewhere. And I'll catch you guys down the trail. Like I said, life's an adventure. Did I say that? Somebody said that somewhere.